Okay, I want to can't talk tonight. I want to welcome everybody to the exhibit comment night. It's September the 21st, 2023. Don't see any newbies here tonight, so we'll go ahead and get started with the announcements. First announcement is the outing that we're having for our education night this week, or education for this month, is at the Florida Museum of Photographic Arts on 7th Avenue in Ybor City. I sent out an email about it a couple of weeks ago and got responsive from maybe 7 or 8 people. But if they're giving us a deal, it's normally $12 per person. They're letting us in for 8 unless we're a member. If you're a member, then you get in for free. They have a docent available for us. It's probably going to take about an hour or so, maybe an hour and a half. And then we're planning on probably going to the Columbia for lunch afterwards. So you can just walk a couple of blocks down the street to the Columbia. So if you're planning, go ahead.
We're having this on Saturday or Thursday?
Saturday, the 30th.
Okay.
There will be no Zoom meeting on Thursday, the 28th. So
I haven't responded, but I will, Lynn. I'm going to go.
Yeah, just send me an email so I can put you on the list.
I will.
At the at mytbc@gmail.com. Okay. Any questions on that?
Lynn, have you made reservations at the Columbia?
No.
I think it would be, they get pretty full. I think it would be wise, once you know more or less the count that we're going to have.
Everybody needs to let me know, as soon as possible, so I need to let the museum know how many people are coming, and I need to I'll make a lunch reservation at the Columbia.
Right.
Okay. Next thing, I'm going to be gone for the next exhibit comment meeting, and because Jim is his life is a crazy mess right now. I want to do as much for him because he's going to be running the meeting next month. So I'm going to do as much for him prior to me leaving the country before. So I am asking you guys, write this down. You need to get your images in a week earlier than normal. I need them by October the 5th. Okay. They need to be to me at 10 p.m. by October the 5th. I will send an email out to everybody in this regard, in case there's somebody, not here, but it's a week earlier than normal in the month, because I want to get all this stuff done before I leave on the 10th. Okay. And like I said, I'll send out an email about this. So just this 1 month, we're going to do it early because I'm not going to be here when we normally would have the entry submitted.
What's the topic, Lynn, please?
Get to that in a minute. Well, give me a minute.
Sorry.
In October, we have a special presentation. Will be our last special presentation for the year. And the presenter is going to be Alan Shapiro. He is a photographer, very well known photographer up in New York area. I think he lives in New York City, and he's going to be talking about food photography. And it's not the normal food photography that you see. His stuff is exquisite, and it's very different than what you normally see. And so I'm going to put an announcement once I get back from the weekend. I'll probably on Tuesday or Wednesday, I will put the announcement on the website. But yeah, it's going to be, he's a very interesting speaker. He's he's funny, and his food photography is just incredible. So I think you'll really enjoy it. Okay. And then the next thing that's coming up is November. We normally do not have an education night because it usually the 4th Friday or 4th Thursday falls on Thanksgiving. But this year there's an extra Thursday in the month. So there's 5 Thursdays. So we are going to have 2 things happen on November the 30th, which is the 5th Thursday. We're going to have our election, which we normally would have had in October, but because we have a special speaker on the October education night, we can't have an election. So we are moving the election for the officers for the 2 year, every 2 years we have an election. We're moving the election to November the 30th. In that regard, think about if you want to be an officer. I'm going to send out an email about that next week as well. So, but be thinking about it. But because it's a bonus night, we're going to have an education night that night as well. And Robert's going to be talking about creating and, the best way to create prints. So we did this a few years ago. We haven't done it for a while. So it's time to try to, get us up on printing again. So he's going to talk about prints, and you probably will, they'll answer questions about anything they want to do. So, the assignments coming up are next month. The assignment is night street photography. Remember we went to Ybor City, some of us? That was what we were shooting for. It was night street photography, not just night photography, but street photography taken at night. November, the assignment is waterfalls. Kind of a giveaway, but we want to see pretty waterfalls, okay? Next thing to put on your calendar is the Christmas annual awards party and our annual Christmas party, which is going to be on Sunday, December the 3rd. And it'll be at 1 o'clock again, 1 p.m. and it will be at Felipe Park like it's been for the last several years. And then last but not least, I just wanted to give you the dates, but the 2024 photo camp is March 1st through the 3rd, which is a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it's going to be at Rainbow Springs again. It is tents only. We will, put the information, we'll get everything probably sometime in December out so everybody can sign up for that then. Any questions about anything at all? We got Robert on the line now, so.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
I see his picture.
I hope I'm being heard.
You are.
We're being here. We can hear you.
Okay.
Any questions about any of this stuff?
Yes, I have one.
ahead.
On the waterfalls, is that natural waterfalls, falls over dams, or what?
Jim?
Sorry, what was the question? I was distracted.
Oh, that's fine. I had a question about waterfalls. Can you take them over dams that have to be natural waterfalls? What?
Well, if is the water falling over all over the dam, then I would then I would say, yeah. Was there anything that specified natural
I
versus
think it's thinking
man-made?
of like raindrops or something, or
No, I think it just says waterfalls.
Oh, there you go.
Creative.
Okay,
Anybody
so-
wants,
Yeah.
anybody wants,
Waterfalls in a creative way. So.
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah,
who wants to come up to North Georgia, I can take you around to some waterfalls. There are
You
about
have a few there.
10 of them, 8 or 10 of them within 5 miles of my house.
Jeez,
Oh, that's
yeah.
wonderful.
And when it rains really, really hard, you have even more.
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
Sylvia, you hear me? Sylvia?
I hear you, Rich.
Anybody else? Any more questions? Okay, let's go ahead and get started with the images. I'm going to share my screen. Oh, wait a minute. Let me do one thing first. Let's see here. Where is Lightroom? Lightroom, where are you? Okay. Look at those. Did anybody get to go over to Fort DeSoto and see the flamingos?
I missed them. Are they still there, Lynn?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Actually, there's supposedly one there that they put that was injured, and they let it loose again, and they've got it's got a radio thing on its leg, and people are having a fit about it because doesn't like having that transmitter on its leg.
Is that one I think that was called Lola or something?
They call it Peaches.
Oh, Peaches. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
something on
Yeah.
Facebook today.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Move this over here. I need to get my score sheet up. All right. All right. Are we ready? First one is dental care in Dominican Republic. Score is 24.1. Oh, and the image belongs to Jack. Jim, Robert, Karen,
I
anybody?
have a comment about this one. This is the one that kind of threw me because I just finished watching Robert's video on judging and everything else, and I looked at this and I was like, it's It's very nice technically. It's very well done. I love the boy looking in the window very suspiciously, but I said, this made me go back to the assignment and say, does this meet the assignment? And I realized that my thinking was wrong, and that when I saw travel, I was equating that with vacation in a place I want to go to. And I would not want to go to a rural dentist, but I love the image. And I realized after I went back and reread it that I had misinterpreted the whole assignment.
Yeah, this looked to me like something you'd see, back in the day in a National Geographic photo essay.
Yeah.
And the person looking through the window is the icing on the cake in this image, like like Karen said.
Like, oh, not me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Robert, anything?
Well, I find it the person in the window just to be the opposite. I think he's bringing too much attention to himself, looking through the window.
Maybe
So
the shirt wasn't pink.
yeah,
If I could comment.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's your
I just, my overall impression of this thing is it violates every sense that we have of what medical care is in this country. That is to say, there's no privacy, people peering in through the window. There is no sterility. Look at all the dirt that there's around, stains everywhere. It's just pathetic. It's heartbreaking to see how these people live today. We wouldn't even consider going to see a dentist in this kind of an environment. So I see this and it stirs my stomach and my heart for these people.
And there was probably no anesthesia either, or some lighting.
No, he's injecting Novocaine right there.
Oh,
That's
is he is? Okay.
That's
at least good. When we did our medical clinic in Jarabacoa, Dominican Republic, that we had a dentist on board and there was no anesthesia, and the clinic was being held in a public park, in a national park that had some gazebos. And like you said, and the people were lined up like crazy because if our group didn't do it, it wasn't done.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and that just goes to show that travel is not all about fun times and pretty things. So
just do me one favor, because of the despair. If I take away the guy, leave the bike in that crop, I tend to find myself engaging in more of what was described, which is the conditions.
Yeah.
There, it's like the window is open. There's a bike outside on the other side of it. There's a baby that's sitting in there, right there with it, and I see a doctor. I see all of the other things of the room. I just don't. I'm not drawn to that guy peering in the window.
And Jim, why did you like it?
It hit me with exactly what Jack said, going to a statement about the conditions where there's, not privacy. Anybody can walk up and look in the window and see what's going on. And also for me, the visual tension of, going to that and then going back to the subject matter and back and forth with that, with the visual tension that he presents to the composition.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd like to make a comment on actually from the last meeting with Robert. This is counterintuitive to what he said. He said to turn something in that make me want to go there. Well, I don't think I want to go.
Well, you can create emotion that is negative as well. So
well, okay. If I can qualify and clarify that. And by the way, Jim, Karen, I do appreciate your approach to this. So I'm not countering it. I'm simply saying my feelings on it. But when it comes to Hagen, what I'm getting at is that sometimes when you see images like this, it is a call to action it
Yeah.
does make you want to volunteer.
Yeah, sure.
Good point.
No,
Yep.
I'm not a dentist.
Well, I will say this with regards to the guy in the window. Had he just been walking by or not actually engaged in the scene, if he had not been looking in the window, then absolutely, I would call him a distraction and say no, you don't want that. For me, the fact that he's actually looking in the window, and becomes part of the engagement with what's going on,
Yep.
it makes the difference.
Now, I will also add, Jack, the fact that you have the subject with the light going directly to the mouth. That's really drawing you in to this whole scene.
Yes, the headlight did a lot of it, but I accentuated it slightly. But the headlight that he's wearing lights it up. But yes, that was the purpose, to light that up, to draw your attention to that. Thank you, Robert.
All right, we're good. We're gonna move on to the next one.
I have a quick comment.
Yeah, go
I have
ahead.
a quick comment. I lived in the Dominican Republic doing medical care outreach for a year and a half. Before that, I did medical care outreach in Honduras for a year and a half. And before that, I did it in West Africa. The DR, comparatively, really not that bad. Just
Diana,
Yeah.
this is a batey. Are you familiar with the bateys in
Yes.
Dominican Republic?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
This is very common in the bateys. Of course, in
Yeah.
the big city, you'll find regular dentist and dental care there, but in the bateys, which is the migrant labor camps,
Right.
this is what you have.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
we-
actually lived on the border and I did cross-border extension care, not
Yeah.
with dentistry. I think it's really cool that you went to the Batey.
Uh,
Just like
I
in
will-
general, when it comes to access to healthcare, comparatively, Dominican
Oh my
Republic,
God.
not that far down on the scale.
Are you a nurse? Are you a
No,
nurse?
I did logistics, finance, and administration.
Oh, okay.
I also did
I was
translation.
gonna try to talk to you into going on the future trips with us.
Okay, guys, we need to move on.
Sorry.
All right. Next one is suspicious sister, pensive sister at home in Bhutan. And this is Diana Rouse. And the score is 24.5.
Wow.
We have full screen.
I thought this one was really aptly named. And I really liked like the lace curtains where they're so clean, but yet you look up and you see you're in a hut. But the facial expressions to me just make this image.
Thank you.
You are good.
Yep. I agree with all that. Technically, Lynn, if you don't mind, just crop it up from the bottom.
Yeah.
I thought
Absolutely.
about that, Jim. I'm looking at
Absolutely.
it now.
Absolutely.
I thought about
There
that.
you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yep,
brings the
much-
people a little closer.
Yep.
much better.
Go back to full screen. Now, is your engagement a walk by grab shot, or it looks as though the one is curious, one is upset, and one is ambivalent?
Yeah.
The one in the back, yeah.
Mhm.
He's
So
like,
you got all the expressions. So I'm wondering how did you manage the shot?
I don't know, to be honest with you. They were the one that looked suspicious was kind of looking straight straight across the other way, like straight over the table. And I was standing there for a while, kind of watching and, waiting to see what was going to happen and poking around the outside of the house. And she suddenly turned around and I saw her. And the little one had been kind of, staring at me the whole time. It honestly, I can't say it. None of it was intentional, except that I waited for it for once, rather than having them pose for me and do that, which was very much frowned upon in Bhutan. They were okay with you taking photos, but not posing them and making them look like, toys or, curiosities and stuff.
Well, there's a range of emotions there.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, great.
Mhm.
Good shot. Next one is Privy in Nicaragua school ground.
Ah,
And this is Jack's. The score is 23.3.
Jack, where did all this light come from?
Sorry?
Where the
Where did all this light come from?
Well, it was the middle of the day.
You don't get light like that in the middle of the day.
The because I see the shadow is falling toward the camera, but there's a lot of light falling in. I think Robert's asking, did you use a flash?
No, I didn't use a flash. I just.
Was this HDR or because
Yes, I enhanced the picture. I don't recall if it was HDR or not, but I enhanced it with the
Okay,
exposure. Yeah,
because we can
so
see
that you could see the details of inside. But yeah, it's
right, because
it
we
was
can see the
dark
sun is
inside.
behind it, and it's also illuminated very strongly in the front. So that's and Robert's question. Okay.
Yeah, technically, yeah, that's a faux pas.
Now, I put that forth is because I don't get the feeling of what I think you're portraying.
I get that idea too. It's kind of overlit in the front in this processing. Had it been a little bit darker, but still seeing the details in there, it would have had more of the mood that of what I think this is trying to say, that this is not the greatest place to be.
What strikes me about this is that us looking at this right now, this is barbaric, but there were many, many years where this was normal for people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about it, though. It is still normal for some people, but would you want to be there?
No.
I will also interject as someone who built these latrines. This latrine is pretty nice.
Got a door on
I'll
it.
tell you why. There are several reasons. One, there is a full concrete pad that extends past the borders of all of the holes. That's required. There is a seat that is elevated above that concrete pad. It is enclosed on all sides. It has a roof. The door can open and close and latch. And there is a pipe that vents above the top. You can't see it, but there's probably also netting over the top of that vent pipe that prevents parasites from going inside and breeding flies inside. The only thing that this is technically missing is a toilet seat.
Yeah.
Which you wouldn't go on
and
anyway.
toilet paper.
And toilet paper. Yeah.
You would never sit on that toilet seat.
I lived there for 4 years.
But look, the toilet paper is right there on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Just wrap.
You're gonna have a rough day if you're using sugarcane.
Diana, what even makes this more is usually when I've seen these, like in India or anywhere we've gone in South America, the floor, you can't step in it because most of the time they don't hit the toilet.
Yep. Yep. And you can see it's clean all the way, like the floor area is clean all the way around.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
now
hell, that's the same way here. They don't hit it.
yeah.
Say that again, Leslie? What'd you say, Leslie?
Even
She
here,
was
they
saying
don't
even
hit
here they don't hit
Same
it.
way here. They
Oh,
don't hit it.
true.
All right. Well, just for the sake of argument, just for me, Lynn, take this whole thing that values the exposure values down.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Lynn. At least take the highlights and the whites down a little bit. There you go. Yes.
Yeah. So now we're getting a feeling of this, that there's some sort of separation of the outhouse and what's happening behind it.
It looks much more natural now.
Yeah.
Hey, Lynn, do me one other quick favor as a teachable moment.
Yeah.
Zoom in on the top of the corrugated roof line up there. Okay. And do you want to show how the chromatic aberration tool will fix that?
Yeah. You guys see the blue line going along here?
Yep.
Yeah, go in another you had 200, go in 300, go in 400%. Yeah, there it is.
Can you do that on a processed photo though?
Oh yeah. Let's see. Working. Not liking the blue.
And you can
See?
shift you can shift those color range sliders down there then. And,
Like which way? Or a little more orange. Yeah, you just move these sliders. See what, when I move the sliders,
Yeah,
it
there
comes
it
and
is.
goes. Yeah,
mhm.
that way. you
And
can
there's
see.
and the amount slider on the top will gives the amount of the decrease that you can do on that.
Yeah.
See the amount slider on the top of
Yeah.
the color sliders. Yeah.
Yeah, see, when I go back and forth, you can see it come back. So it's like kind of right in here, and let's see, less blue.
Yeah, and yeah, yeah, that same color may also exist on the right side of the on the bottom there. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, you can work with that stuff and get rid of those chromatic aberration fringes. Was that was that an older camera, Jack?
Yeah, that was an X-T3, but I don't oh, wait a minute. No, that was my Canon. That was my Canon 5D.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah,
that was my
Wasn't
Canon
that Canon?
5D.
I was gonna say that did not look like XT3.
And
No,
also,
All right. All right,
also,
let's
Jack,
move on, guys.
Jack, yeah,
Next-
just before you move on, Jack,
Right.
if you take some really nice soft toilet paper in there, that'll take care of the other chromatic aberrations.
All right,
Remember
next-
Move
that.
right along.
come on, guys.
How come everybody loves potty humor?
Yeah, I really love Pine Hill View. Okay, next one is Colorful Temple, Tokyo, Japan. This one is Diana Rouse, and the score is 23.7.
Okay. Oops.
I don't get for me, I don't get a wide enough sense of where you are.
Huh?
I know it sounds a little odd for me, but I got a temple right here, and that's it. I could find this down in South Tampa.
No, you
In other
can't.
words, there's
Well, you can in Thai. Yeah, that Thai
right.
temple.
Yeah, right. What I'm saying is I don't have a sense of the place. I just have a shot of a building.
Would it have been better? Like, there's some people here. If you could have seen more people, there's people
More
here kind of in
People
the
are there.
background. Yeah,
The people are there. They're in
but
the
they're hard to
background.
see. They're hard to see.
Yeah, I don't get a bigger sense of the place.
Okay.
Some
Should have used it for my street photography. Sorry.
Sometimes, Robert, it's hard because they have those things just in the middle of other stuff.
Well, I get it.
Exactly.
I get it. However, I'm the editor of this travel thing, and I'm doing a story on this. I want more of a sense of what the place is about.
I'm not being organic, but I'm not sure I could have done that. I mean, any building you would have put, anything that was an architecture thing, that would be a reflection. So basically, on this kind of an assignment, you can't put a building, or you.
No, I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that, all right, you're going to shoot 1,000 shots in order to represent this particular place. I'm not sure if this is the shot.
Okay. And what was my score, just out of curiosity?
23.7.
So my question is just quickly, technically, if in other words, basically, I didn't meet the assignment.
You got a 23 out of 24.
No. I'm asking technically. I'm asking for the critique on the technical. I worked a lot on this shot. That's why I'm asking, because it was not, didn't look like that when I started out. What
Do me
would
a
you
favor,
do to
Lynn.
it?
Go to the transform panel and set it to vertical.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how to do that.
There you go. Yeah, it wasn't straight.
Oh yeah, I'm guilty.
And it's a little bright to me, at least for
See,
my.
it doesn't look as bright on my computer,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Okay. As I said, I wanted the technical critique.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robert.
And I would like to see a little bit less on the left, because my eyes kind of are going with those the things right out front. I keep going right out off the picture.
Okay.
Now,
Thank
another thing you're going to find that in my critiques coming up, that you see that right edge, of the building, yeah, top part of the building. Yes, that one right there, that right edge. Your main subject is in that is actually being cut off on that edge. I don't have any breathing
But
room,
it wasn't, it wasn't in the
Okay.
original image.
It wasn't when it was tilted.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah,
And there was actually part of a building, part of a roof there from
There's
another
part of the roof
building.
on the other side as well.
Right, but that part, that has more, I mean, the reason I left that one in versus the other one, although I like Karen's point, is this one was just like a I'm drawing with my fingers and you can't see me, but it was just kind of a triangle thingy that just kind of would have jutted. I don't know how to explain it. Sorry.
I don't know.
Let
Maybe
me
then you should have done this. I don't know. That doesn't help any either.
No, that didn't work.
What I'm seeing though is you shot it from the extreme angle. That's what I'm seeing. Now, what I wasn't there, and I have no idea what you had to go through to get the shot. But looking at this shot, what do you think would have happened had you moved to the left and given me more of the environment, and let that be the hero of the environment?
Well, first of all, I didn't know what I was doing when I shot that.
Okay,
So
okay. This makes sense.
This is like about 8 years ago. So
And
I didn't have the blessings of all the lessons I've learned from you guys since then.
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's one thing. And I think, and I don't quite remember this, but there was no way to get around. There was no way to get the building isolated. The building on that right, there was no way I could get around it. And if I would have gone more to the left, it would have put more of the building in, but in a weird angle. So
Alrighty. Sounds good. Let's move on. Strolling the streets of Strasbourg. This one is Sylvia's, and the score is 24.5.
That's a beautiful
Sylvia.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Now I know I'm jumping in there. Jim, forgive me on this one.
No, go right ahead. I have to deal with a family text here anyway. So.
Okay. All right. You see that guy on the bike?
Yes.
All right. I'm there with you, and we're shooting a shot. I'm saying, okay, guy, I want you to come back, and I want you to go more toward the center of that street, not on that line, but more toward the center, so I can get some separation in there and have a point of interest. So that guy goes right into the people.
Yeah. Right.
And
Yeah,
whereas
he
he
waited
could have been a great figure.
10 seconds, he would have been in the right spot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's awesome.
Oh, okay. I'm back. Did anybody comment about the position of the person on the bicycle?
Yes.
Everybody did. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I love the architecture, just awesome.
Yes.
I love the
Angles,
shot.
yeah.
It looks like a postcard. Or a painting. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Is that a cathedral, Sylvia?
Yes. It is.
Beautiful architecture.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Jim, do you have any other comments besides the bicycle guy?
That was the main deal, was position of the bicycle.
So just be more patient and wait. See, I have to admit it, and it distresses me that I don't think about that, and I should by now. But
Well, the more
maybe
the more street photography you do, the more you're going to think about this. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, moving on. The next one is Wine with a View. Come on. This one is also Sylvia's. The score is 23.7.
This looks more like a setup shot, Sylvia. Am I correct?
No, I have no idea who those people were. They were there having wine on the rooftop deck of the hotel we were staying in.
I mean, this
This
looks
looks-
like something from a travel brochure.
This actually, yeah, like I say, this looks like it's from a travel brochure, like a marketing piece for for a tour guide company or something like that. And as such, it's well done.
And the only thing I was going to say, if you did do this, then put more wine in the glass so that they're even.
Man,
I don't know.
cow.
What did you shoot this with your phone or your camera?
Yes, it is. It with my Samsung 8. It's not even a.
Yeah,
just
this little back here looks a little like a painting.
Yeah, it looked like an old phone shot.
Yeah.
yeah, it's what it is. But I just like the look of the shot. It was a beautiful view.
Oh yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
Did you think
that was
felt like,
a well-chosen moment and composition.
right? I felt like the canvas should be extended a little on the left behind him, but I hadn't gotten the beta of generative fill, and I tried to bring it out a little bit with content aware, and it was a mess. So I just left it.
Now, I have to just having shot things like this in advertising, I want you to know that if you are hired to do this, let's say as an ad piece, like it was for travel, then the railing people would have been elevated just above that railing.
Above the railing, instead of it going through their heads. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I have a question. How is it that the background looks so different? The background almost doesn't look real.
It's the way the phone processes. Because
it's the resolution of the cell phone that took the photo.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. It just looks, the phone is doing so much processing on its own, but which with a raw file, you're not going to do. So until you get it into, Photoshop or Lightroom. So yeah, it's if you look at a lot of distance shots from even the newer phones, a lot of them look like this because it's trying to make everything look even.
That phone didn't have the ability to shoot raw.
Yeah.
Unless you had Lightroom Mobile and were to shoot it through Lightroom Mobile, that phone did. I had that phone, and you could shoot raw through Lightroom Mobile, but not through the native phone app.
And I didn't do it.
Next one, moving on. Next one is Sunrise Balloon Ride, Cappadocia. This one is Lourdes's, and the score is 24.1.
Give me a little dehaze on that, Lynn.
Where is that?
It's Turkey.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Diane. I was wondering too.
There you go. Thank you, Lynn.
That's all I needed was just a little bit of dehaze.
That dehaze did the trick. It was a little bit flat looking, but it's well composed. Very nice image. The position of the balloons is well done in that composition.
And that's not easy when you're in another balloon shooting at other balloons.
It is easy, Lynn, when you radio the other balloons to get in position.
Right. They have a tendency to do what they want to do.
Yeah, because balloons turn on a dime and very easily move left and right.
Exactly.
But apparently, Lourdes had some sort of radio contact, and it made everybody get it lined up.
I had contacts. I told them stop, and they did.
Yes. Very nicely done. And the thing about it, here's what I want to give you credit on: the balloon in the very middle bottom. You see how it's the shape of the balloon and the valley that's coming out of.
That's what I was talking about. With the composition, you're exactly right, Robert. That framing, within the landscape is perfection.
Yeah.
All of that was breathtaking. I didn't know where to shoot because the scene is amazing.
Yeah. That's when you have too many possibilities.
Well, apparently you picked the right one.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Next one is Mesquite Flats Sand Dunes. That is my shot, and the score is 25.
Wow.
Here's my thing on this, Lynn. I I think he cropped too close from the top.
No, really? I was
Yes.
trying, I mean, I was more interested in the curve than I was in the mountains.
I understand.
Yeah.
But however, that there is that curve with that light coming across is so strong and good. It's a good strong that I think it warranted a little more backdrops on top.
Okay. Yeah, I
Of the mountains.
yeah, I don't even think I cropped this at all.
Yeah.
So
Very nice shot though.
thank you.
Yeah, you don't need us to tell you about how good the leading line is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, whoa.
Hey, Lynn, I'm glad you didn't take another step because you would have messed up the sand in front
Yeah,
of
I
you.
know. That was what I was concerned about. It was like, how the heck did they get up there without making footsteps? But the wind was blowing a lot too. So
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
trying to find a dune there that doesn't have footprints is like impossible.
Yeah.
And I started looking around at other pictures of people doing dunes, and some of them just gave up and used the footsteps as leading lines.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
is
but
that?
You could
Take
fix
up
that
on
in
the side.
post.
Where?
Oh, Brian, I tried. Let me tell you, it is the most time-consuming, unrewarding process to do.
Yeah.
I gave up on it.
All right. Moving on. Next one is race point sunrise. Can't say all those R's. Oops. Hope I clicked on the right one. Okay. This one is Diana K. Hills, and the score is 23.4. Anybody?
What I like about this, as far as how it was done with the composition, is a lot of times in something like this, we'd say, oh, there's excessive foreground, but this is for me, this is one of those exceptions to that, where the fact that building is diminished back there, and it seems isolated and lonely and by itself out there, that feeling is enhanced by that extra foreground in the front that then even more diminishes that building that's back there in the background.
Is Diana here?
Yeah, she's here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Diana, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
This is minimalism at its height.
You think so?
Yeah.
With
Oh,
all
yeah.
the green grass?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Remember all those times we were struggling with minimalism? You hit the nail on the head with this one, and that's part of what I'm describing with that extra foreground in this one is minimizes that that building even more. That's what makes this work in the realm of minimalism. It would be not so much minimalism had this foreground been cut way up close to the horizon line.
Cool.
Yeah, you have tension there. That building is commanding a lot of information, even though it's the smallest thing in the scene. And all three of these parts, the foreground, the building, and then the sky, have all equal weight, even though the building is the smallest.
Yeah. I like the fact that you could see the light through the building, through the windows in the building. Yeah. Because that makes it more more three-dimensional.
Yes, I absolutely agree with you, Lynn. Good point.
Well done,
K-Hill, you set a mark.
Oopsie.
What could I have done to improve this image?
Okay, next one is.
I'll tell you what you can do to improve this. You can let it sink in that you did a great job.
Okay, sounds good. All right, thanks.
Okay, next one is West Highland Way, Scotland.
I thought this was great.
This one is Lee's, and the score is 23.7.
Yeah, very, very nicely done.
Beautiful. Rule of thirds there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And the photography just adds.
Yeah.
I I think it's well done that the fact that he does not break the far horizon, you know, his head or any part of his body, he's contained within that hillside behind him, framing him, and there's a distinct difference in the values of the hills he's on versus the hill in the background there, that, you know, he doesn't disappear or meld into that, and there's good separation of the foreground hills to the background, giving you that sense of depth.
Robert?
I'm good with it. I want to open up that that highlight that's in the middle of the valley a little bit more. Now the one that's down in the valley, the grass, the green area. That now down below, lower.
There.
Yeah, that part right there. I just want to open that up a little bit more. I want the attention to kind of go toward that area a little bit. Yes, more.
You know, I think that the best part of that shot, besides the guy, is the clouds over the mountain. I would think that you don't want to distract from that.
Distract from the clouds over the mountain? You're not
And
distracting
the center of the foam. Yeah, I think that's more.
What I'm no, the only thing, the reason why I asked to do this is because I'm thinking that it anchors everything.
I also agree with doing that because it's in the direction that he's looking, and looks like he's got a camera on a monopod pointing there, and that gives you a sense of where he might be pointing his camera, what he might be taking a photograph of. What I would do in conjunction with what just happened to that bright area is also just brighten up the human figure a little bit and bring him a little bit more in line with the brightness of that, so that the two become tied together visually.
It doesn't know there's no people there.
Okay.
Yeah, you just have just for the sake of doing it, just do a real quick tight brush, you know, on the guy for us to see what I'm saying about you know, bringing his value more in line with that, so they become a little more, via the brightness, visually tied together as, you know.
I'm going to go dark for just a second. So go ahead, Jim, take over for me.
Okay. Go ahead, Robert. Switch. Jim, is that what you were looking for right there?
Yeah, just bring his value up a little bit. You know, yeah, there you go. Good. Like that.
You see Lee?
Yep, I see it.
Okay.
Nicely done.
I tried to do it in the valley, but I guess I didn't do it enough.
Yeah. Next one is Glenfinnan Viaduct in Scotland. This is also Lee's, and the score is 25.6.
Wow.
That's not just a travel photo. That goes on a travel calendar.
Yeah.
Gorgeous shot.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, this is gorgeous. This is a very, very famous bridge.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of movies been shot around this bridge.
It's the Hogwarts Express.
Yeah, it was in the Harry Potter movies. Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Perfect timing. Yep. Perfect timing.
Love the curve. Ooh.
Yep.
Were you
yeah.
on
Did you go like this so he would blow off his steam?
That smoke being where it is. Everything about this is fantastic. Yep.
I had to run basically 2 miles to get there to get that. I was out of breath when I shot that.
Doesn't show. It's beautiful.
It was worth it.
The colors are gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah. Next one is Tanzania sunset.
Robert, does that look familiar?
This one is Diana Cahill's, and the score is 22.8.
Yep. I know you can't direct them, but the elephants would be more recognizable as elephants if they were in profile, but yes. I know you can't direct them, and they are what they are.
Yeah, they're kind of like big black blobs. So.
Okay, I think I'm back.
Okay.
So.
Not my photo, Robert.
Oh no! Here's the thing about this particular photograph. Your elephants are in line with that tree. So there's no break between them.
Yeah.
So that's, I don't know if you guys discussed this. I was doing something
we
there.
just mentioned that it's hard to tell that they're elephants because they're so dark.
Right. And I think Jim said that they needed to be in profile.
Yeah, I know you can't direct them, but if they were in profile, they'd be more recognizable, when you look at this without thinking about, wait, what are those? Oh, they're elephants.
I'm going to take 1 second here on Cahill. When you shot this, when you went to Africa, one of the things about it, you were very excited about being there. Do I have that?
Yes.
Okay. Oftentimes when we're excited about something, we lose all sense of the assignment in a sense. And so what we start doing is just shooting because we're in a different, a new place. We're excited, but then composition and waiting for the shot is everything. It is truly everything. So a few more seconds or minutes or something for the elephants to move in or out. And I don't know how much control you had, but just being a little more patient is what it takes when you're in these ventures.
Yeah. Karen, do you have anything to say on this one?
No, mine was the same as Jim's in terms of if they were facing the other way. I just want to see more detail on the elephants.
Yeah. All righty. Next one is Wisconsin farm country.
This is an Edward Hopper picture.
Yeah, this one is Brian's, and the score is 24.4.
That's exactly what came to my mind. The instant I saw it, Karen. I 100% agree with you, and it's lovely.
Yeah.
I don't know who Edward Hopper is.
This is Brian. This is one of your stronger submissions that you've done with us.
Brian.
Yes.
Brian, that is the problem.
You don't know
That is the problem. The problem is you don't know who these people are. It's because I need you to get out more and look at other artists, not just photography, other artists.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need
How
me
do
to
you
go with
spell
you,
Hopper so I can Google this guy?
H-O-P-P-E-R.
Okay.
And if you need me to go with you and hold your hands, and I will. I mean, literally hold your hands.
Can I ask a question? I love the picture, but does that dark cloud cutting across the top 1/3? I suck at math. Is that an issue? Because
You talking about the where it separates diagonally between the bright area and the dark area?
Yeah.
Well, I like that.
No, I have no problem with
I like
that
part.
that at all. That line, that diagonal line, it actually lines up with that
No,
tree
not that
over
one,
there,
the one that goes across the horizontal line.
You're talking about you're talking about the horizon. That's not a cloud.
That's the shoreline.
Oh,
That's the shoreline on the other side of the water.
I'm sorry.
Zoom in, Lynn. Click on it and zoom in, Lynn.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brian. I mean, I love the shot. I love the muteness of it. It's really pretty.
Yes, and that's part of what we're talking about, Brian. Is thank you for not going saturation crazy, on this, and punching the vibrance and punching the saturation.
Yeah.
The muted tones just are gorgeous in this.
It makes it dreamy.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, quit laughing at yourself.
The funny thing is that this was I was actually wondering if maybe I shouldn't submit this because I wasn't quite sure about this. And I said, to heck with it, I'm going to find out. And I did.
This is one of your stronger submissions that you've ever done, Brian.
Yeah. Next one is a Milwaukee Art Museum in fall.
Oh, that's a great art museum too.
That he should have gone inside, not just taken a picture outside. That's Brian's score is 23.4.
It looks like the bridge fell.
It is kind of.
I mean,
hard.
I think
it's straight. These buildings are straight, so
But
I know, I
go
think
to,
it's a very cool building, but it reminds me of oh, something fell down
but those things can easily be corrected and transformed with the guided whatever they call those
I
things.
want
Yeah,
to.
it is straight
Hey,
though.
Lynn,
Yeah, the
give me a
buildings are straight.
Lynn,
Not on the right hand side.
Give me availability to share my screen here in a second,
Okay.
because I have something I want to access to specifically address
See, my
this image.
computer, when I look at it,
All I have
feel
to do
like
is be
I'm
able to find
falling.
it.
I have to say personally that I find architecture the most difficult thing to shoot.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like if it's crooked, then you get, you know, you can, I don't know, I just suck at it.
I've lost my zoomy stuff. I don't have my buttons on the bottom. I don't know what happened to them. Hold on a sec. Where'd they go? Where'd they go?
I want to come back to this, Lynn, when I can find what I'm looking for. So
Jim
you move
can
on for
just
now.
Jim can just take it. You don't have to give it to him. Jim can take it.
Yeah, but no, I have to give him. I have to make him a host, and I can't get to the darn buttons. I don't know what happened to my screen.
Well, I have to find what I put together the other night for this.
Now I stopped sharing. I can do it.
Yeah, well, but what I'm saying is, in the meantime, I can't find the material that I wanted to present on my end.
Okay. All right, you're a co-host now.
Yeah, thanks. So just move on. Just move on, and we'll come back to that, because I do want to address a couple things with that. But I have support material that I want to show.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, this one. Any more on this one other than what you want to come back and do? Okay. No. Okay. The next one is city scene, and let me do this. And this one is Kieran's, and the score is 23.9. Is this Paris, Karen?
Yes.
Looks like it.
Yep.
Karen, I just thought your focus didn't carry all the way through to the main parts where it needed it to.
Like back over on the left.
Yeah, and then the bridge itself.
Okay.
It's ish.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only thing.
And do one thing for me, Lynn. And this could, this is something that a generative fill could have done, but you can also do it with the crop. That great big poster hanging on the side of the building, it contrasts so much with the building and everything else that's in the scene that my eye just can't stop going to that Louboutin poster there. And if you could crop in past or whatever, because that's visually the sharpest and most attention getting thing that your eye locks in on when you first look at the image.
Yeah, that's better. I don't know. I mean, that's it's such a big thing. I don't know if generative fill would handle it very well. It might.
And what would you ask it to put in?
You just get rid of it.
Oh yeah, it could, like I say, with generative fill. Today I replaced an entire garage door in a townhome and an SUV in a driveway, and although actually on first iteration, generative fill replaced the SUV in the driveway with a SUV that had gone through a car crusher.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny sometimes. The Firefly has a sense of humor.
Is there too much on the bottom there compared to what's at the top? There. I'm asking. I'm wondering.
Oh, if that feels right for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you cut off the right hand side. Yeah, that would work as well.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, that's much better. As far as AI is concerned, I think it's great. I went to the ATM and I pulled out my balance, and then I did a generative fill, and then my balance was all of a sudden I had $1 million.
Oh,
If
now we
only
have to
that
have now we have to have generative fill jokes. Jeez.
Okay. And by the way, Lynn, if you want to go back to that prior image, I found the assets I was
Okay.
looking for.
This one? All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Let me find my. Okay, I need to share my screen.
Oh, there it was. Everything was up. It moved up top. No wonder I couldn't find it. Okay. This new Zoom program is very weird.
All right, can you guys see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's the original. And I was going to say, one of the things that when you're doing architecture, and especially when you get into ultra wide lenses, you shot this like a 10 millimeter, Brian. Is that correct?
Well, I don't know if it was 10 millimeter when I shot it.
I think your EXIF data said 10.5.
Oh, and I believe that.
That it was shot at 10.5. And I know because I actually am shooting some architecture with an 8 millimeter rectilinear lately that I got. And the wider it gets, the more difficult it is to actually line it up and get it right and get the verticals vertical in architecture in something like this. And it's off. And you do have to go to Lightroom or or Photoshop or whatever and work with the controls. That's the original. I'm going to let you see the alternate.
That's what I was talking
version.
about.
Okay, now look at the building on the on this side. Look at the vertical line right here versus here. I'll switch images. Look at see the slant on everything here versus here.
Yeah.
I actually did spend quite a bit of time trying to straighten this up because I knew this was going to be an issue in this photo, but I didn't do as good as you did.
So like you see, this line here is now a level line. The lines of all this stuff is vertical. You see this vertical line within the building. It was actually hard to find a vertical line in the building, but there is one right there. There's a vertical line in the building. So those were the things that I worked with, and this was just done in Lightroom. Lightroom did this.
Did you use the guided line? Did you use the guided lines yet?
Now,
yeah.
And then on top of this, what I was gonna show you, I've got one more iteration here, which is compare this then to.
Oh, you got rid of that building.
Yeah, because this is your subject. I find that other building, to not do anything to be telling your story about your subject.
Well, yeah, but it was a travel thing. You're supposed to tell where you are. So that was why I thought that would,
That building didn't tell me anything more than your title did about what the subject was and where you were.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the interesting part of that scene, not that big hunky building over on the right.
Okay.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
To me, that building kind of looks like a boat. And when you
Yes,
had all
it does.
when you had all those pictures up and I saw that water, I thought, oh, is he going to put that building in that water?
No. But also, even like I say, you look in the original, look at the trees over here, see how slanted the trees are and everything. And you said you worked on this, Brian.
I worked on the buildings. I didn't work on the trees.
Oh, oh, okay. Yeah. Cause they all fall in line. The whole scene falls in line, when you work it that way. See, even the trees over here, everything. Yeah. Okay. So you can go back now. I'm stopping sharing, Lynn.
Okay. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Next one is La Villa Lumiere.
Oh, wait, did we miss one? Oh no, never mind. Sorry.
No, yeah, we went back one.
Yeah.
This one is Karen's, and the score is 24.
Yep, very well done. The composition, you thanks to that spotlight on the Eiffel Tower, how it's positioned there, that gave you the remaining leg, of the triangle here. That you start with that boat in the lower left, you follow across the bridge, you get to the Eiffel Tower, the beam brings you back, and then you drop back down to that. You've got it. It creates a fantastic triangle within this, and then that other building in the distance, falls within the triangle in a nice position. That's well composed, well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I see that was if I recall, that was like a really fast shutter speed. Was this a handheld shot?
Yes.
Yes. Well done for a handheld shot.
The only thing, Karen, is this a railing or something down here in the corner? I don't know, just the way the water is. I don't know, it's just,
probably. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can you say Curtis?
Yep. I was about to say, yep, the Curtis effect.
Oh.
Hey, I had to laugh. I caught myself with a picture today before delivering it and said, "Oh," and I actually said to myself, "Oh, don't be Curtis." I realized
Curtis, he's not here to defend himself.
What's the Curtis effect?
I realized just like where that railing is right there, I had a shot where the family dog had walked into the room, and I hadn't noticed that the family dog had put himself in the corner of the frame at first.
But that's more interesting than a railing.
Yeah.
What's the Curtis effect?
You had to be there. It goes back to the old days.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, Curtis kind of became famous for having weird things on the edges of his frames that he didn't know were there.
These beautiful images, and then something would be like a foot would be sticking in the bottom of it.
Well, the Curtis effect is one thing, but don't get caught in the Doris effect.
Yep.
All right, moving on. This is On the Edge Green River Overlook. This one is my image, and the score is 24.1.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
This got
Without the person there, the immense sense of scale, you wouldn't be able to really calculate the immensity of the sense of scale without that person there.
I saw him walk off that thing, and I was like jumping up and down, jumping over, like, stay there, I'm gonna take a picture. And I had to, because I had to run to get to a spot where I could get that shot. So, and it was like 75-mile-an-hour winds, so it was not easy.
I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna be straight up and say, this is some white people stuff.
Lynn, is that rain over there on the left? Is it rain?
Yeah, it was rain, and it was very hazy. So,
and what
I zoomed in, it was really hazy.
What I found interesting with that haze is the underneath the rain, the rock formation that's back there. Yeah. Because of the haze and the way that rock formation sits in there, at a glance, it almost looks like a double exposure.
Yeah. Right here.
Yeah.
It's just all these rock formations that are all over the place in this valley, and it's just that was the place we went to paint. We actually took pictures, but we had to draw. We had canvases to draw in, and we went back after we left this place and painted parts of it, and it was because of the rock formations that he chose this area. So
I could see a whole nother image over there. Because when I was looking at it, I could just see it was like a picture in itself with the rock formations.
Yeah. I mean, this place is the Green River kind of goes in these canyons. You've seen I think I submitted one with the everything over to the left was it's the big canyons that have been cut into the ground with the river. So
I'm just telling you, I ain't no way I would be out on that edge.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been either. It was too darn windy.
With 75-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah, it was insane. I'm like, that person is nuts. I'm going to take a picture before he falls off.
That person is usually Jim. Jim does
Yeah.
stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's usually Jim standing out there, and it wasn't
Yeah.
Jim this time.
That would be me.
Yeah,
Yep.
some other crazy person, because it was a long, from where we were, it was a long hike. And you had to go all the way around in this, probably at least a mile to get to that. So,
I have from way back in the days of film a selfie of myself in something like this that I did because I had a camera with a timer, a countdown timer that could actually be set all the way to 99 minutes. And I timed my walk back and forth and realized I had to set my timer for 20 minutes. And I composed a shot, set my timer for 20 minutes, and that gave me time to get to a place like this to have a selfie on film.
I'm just
right.
saying, you guys rob banks and stuff, doing stuff like this. You time yourselves.
all right, guys, moving on. Umbrella Alley, Old Quebec City. This one is Lourdes's, and the score is 24.
Lourdes,
And
I need to know.
reality.
I need to know, and I'm gonna let you know right now. It's counted against you. Why did you do the colors in the umbrella?
Well, I kind of thought that to enhance the umbrella because it was the umbrella alley.
It's the umbrella alley. Well, the reason why is because all the attention is going to the umbrellas, whereas there is so
Yeah,
much.
but there's
in
much
this-
more. Frontenac is right behind.
Pontonac,
That's what I mean.
beautiful.
That's what I mean. There's so much more front to back. There's so much more in this photograph that you're calling my attention to those umbrellas, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, because usually the name tricks you, so you said, "Oh, there's more." It did the purpose.
Not for
Tricked
me.
you. I
I'm going
tricked
to-
you. I tricked you.
I'm going to say this. I see the people down in the bottom look like they're walking toward the camera. This is kind of like the bicycle thing again. Well, I really wish they were another 15 feet closer up the alley. Those people that are walking right there, waiting for them to get, further up. Yeah, like, move your hand over a little bit to the left, Lynn. There. If they, right there. Those people were there in line with that doorstep, that stoop, that door. They would have separated from that crowd, and they would have been a great foreground element that, to have them separate from the crowd that's back there eating at the restaurant. And
Yeah, I have, if you know, I have another shot like 2 seconds after that one, and there were like 20 people behind. So
okay. Well, in
It's,
any case with this, I'd also wear those down there under the dining umbrellas. Open those shadows up, and and it's very dark under there. In the overall scale of the image, brightening that up would help. If you even just put just a quick brush on that, just a quick brush in that area, Lynn, and just open that area up and
got it.
down there.
Perfect. Yep, makes
Yeah.
sense.
There we go.
Yeah, so not quite so dark.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can take the shadow slider and open the shadow slider too. That'll help on that.
I'm curious, Lynn, whenever you open up shadows, whenever you open up, and Robert's probably going to bop me on the head. Whenever you make something lighter, you go to exposure first. Is that what I should be doing? Or
Actually, you should be using, I'm just trying to do something quick. Normally I would do whites and dark and blacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Normally
highlights and shadows.
I usually do shadows first.
Yeah.
The white slider is 90% of the time the first slider I grab.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you can, or you can go down here and, I'm in a brush, so it's not, that doesn't have, if I wasn't in a brush, you go down to the, to this. Jim uses this all the time too. What is this? The tone.
Yeah, there you
curve.
go.
And so you can use the light.
Yes, there. That works.
That
That
again,
works.
Jim?
Yeah.
Do that again?
That's the whole image, not just the brush.
Okay, got it.
Unfortunately, the brush doesn't have these sliders. It just has the curve.
Mhm.
Right.
But you can do that in Photoshop.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you can do that in Photoshop
With what tool?
with a curve.
Oh.
With that exact tool. With that exact tool on a mask.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yep.
All right, next one is Dusk on the Thames. And it's going to the map for some weird reason. Come on.
Because the little badges on the film
hit it.
strip thumbnail, you clicked one of those little badges.
This is
Yep.
Susan Huckabee's, and her score is 24.8. This is
Beautiful colors and detail in this.
It is, yeah.
Thank you.
The color palette really works well in this one for me.
And the fact that it's not raining.
Didn't have any rain when the whole time we were in London.
Wow, I hope you bought a lottery ticket.
We had umbrellas and raincoats and all sorts of stuff. And
That's
we
why.
used nothing. But
It's
the weather
beautiful. That's a
was
beautiful
gorgeous.
shot. I could see that in a photo book.
It must not have been the week of the US Open because it sure did rain that week.
Oh, this was actually the week of Wimbledon.
That's what I meant to say, Wimbledon. It rained a lot during Wimbledon.
Robert, any comments?
Inside bridge, I wish you had extended it.
I should have extended it.
Yeah, a little bit more on the right hand side.
Oh, you want it all the way down?
Yeah, follow.
Yes.
Yeah. At least follow it into where it meets the shoreline, or further than it goes there. I agree with Robert about that.
I don't know. I'll try to think about that, but it was done in excitement.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 6. Did you shoot this with your phone?
I did.
Yeah, so because it's at 6.86 millimeters, so that was pretty wide already. I don't think you get much wider with the phone. So.
And also do a panel with the phone.
Yeah,
Pano.
the pano. Yeah.
Yeah, I could have done that.
Yeah, but
You
then
get
you get
excited and you forget about the panos. I do it all the time.
And bridges are ideal subjects for pano shots.
Yep.
But then you get this teeny tiny shot.
Hold it vertical when you do the pano.
Yeah. Turn the camera around.
Hold the
See,
camera
Jim,
vertical.
that's why I want to call a class with you.
and that's not just a phone photography tip. That's an any camera tip. Any camera when you're making a pano, turn it vertical.
All right, next one is drifted ice in Iceland. This is Lewin. The score is 25.4.
This is beautiful. It really
Gorgeous.
is.
And I want to share my screen
Okay.
for this one.
I want to go to Iceland. Oh, sorry.
I don't know. What did you add? Like, did you add something?
Hopefully added something on the right hand side.
Now let me hang on for a second. Let me do. Okay. Yeah, here we go. So there's the original, and there's a little in the front, a little bit more on the other side. It was just
right.
too tight.
That's exactly right. Did I not say it before you did it?
Called it. You called it. Mhm. See the original. It's not much, but look at it makes a big difference.
And how did you do that, Jim? Did you use expand?
No, I did not use expand. That was strictly generative fill. That was not generative expand. That was just a generative fill.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Is Luann here?
Yeah, actually I cropped it. I have.
Look, I want you to let the fish swim in the water. You know what that means? That means that when the fish is out of the water, you're choking it. It's dying. Let it breathe. Let your images breathe.
Okay, I got it.
little, just a little too close.
All right.
Let
All
it
right,
breathe.
next one is coastal Maine. And this one is Chris Villegas, and the score is 24.1.
This was not what I expected on that title. When it said coastal Maine, I expected this beautiful beach and rocks and but I
Yep, this is also a very typical coastal Maine scene.
sure, but
It
that
sure
wasn't what
is.
came to my mind. Yeah.
Harbors, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a lot of lobster traps. Am I correct?
Yeah, yep. Yeah.
Is Chris here? Is Chris here tonight?
He was.
He was. I
No.
don't think he's here now.
This is the kind of thing that makes Lee hungry.
He's,
Yes,
he's
it does.
all
Yes,
those
it does.
followers.
I'll be on the next plane out tomorrow.
Hey, Lynn,
Yes.
are you able to open up the shadow under the lobster trap? It's kind of a black hole there that's gravitationally sucking in the rest of the scene.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty dark.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to know if he was here or not.
This one you have to get the exposure and do some and do some dehaze on it once you do the exposure.
And then also warm it up, because anytime
You got to warm it up to match everything else.
Because when you bring in, bring the shadows out, it always makes it much colder. So you have to warm it up every time.
Yep, it's blue in the shadows.
Yep. So, yeah, that much better there.
Mm-hmm.
We were here. And
Oh,
now
yeah.
we're here.
So Jim, it's so funny you said that opening it up, because on that picture that I shot, the Chinese one with the buildings, do you know how long I spent opening up the shadows on the roof part of it?
Well, obviously you did good with that, because we didn't ask you to do any more.
Okay, because you guys were in my head the whole time. I'm going to get nailed for having that black spot.
All right, next one is Boston Common. And this one is also Chris's, and the score is 23.1.
Chris, I wish he was here. This is too much of a grab shot for me.
What's a grab shot?
You point your camera and push the button and grab a shot.
Yeah, you grab a shot.
Yeah, you grab your camera, you point it, you grab a shot.
It's too much of a grab shot for me.
It refers to not putting thought or effort into it. It refers to pointing and shooting.
See, Robert, you can't say it's a white person's vacation.
Oh no! You notice that the black people are there with other white people. So if you drown,
mind you, they're in the front too.
Everybody's gonna drown. But on that mountaintop, woo, no way. Ain't no way I'm going out there.
That pond's only 3 feet deep.
Yeah,
So,
that's the point.
just stand up.
That's the point.
There.
That
okay.
is the point.
Next.
I couldn't resist that. Sorry.
Next, let's go to the next image. Iceberg in Greenland. This one is also.
Let me guess. Lee Wen. That's a Lee Wen shot.
The score is 24.4.
Yep, there's a major problem with this shot.
The horizon.
He missed it timing.
Yes. Lee Wen, come on, tell me why.
Well, we're on another boat. So when they move, they move. Both sides are moving. So
All right, let me ask you a question.
Preparation for that, maybe I should have removed that portion.
Yeah, that's another eye, not the same eye.
I just need to know, major question. Did you pay to be on this other ship?
Yeah, we went into the ship. So we paid for the ship, right?
Right. If you pay for something, you can tell the captain to slow the frick down.
Oh no. I wish I could.
I mean, this is one frame from being perfect.
Yeah.
So would you have removed the iceberg behind it?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Absolutely, I
saw
would have.
that, but the boat is not that big, so I will have like gonna see that fake sky behind it, so I give up.
Now, I say it can be done. It requires work and technical skill and effort, but
Yeah,
it can be
I
done.
don't have that. You're right, I don't have that skill to remove it and see the
Mhm.
iceberg behind the
Take the
boat.
boat, move it back like an inch.
I'll send you an email with my fees.
Okay.
So actually, wait a minute, Lynn, your idea though, couldn't you do that with that, what is it called, Robert? That thing that,
Content aware fill or move.
Content
yeah,
remove.
yeah. Could
That-
she not have done that?
Possibly, but I think that that boat's a little bit tricky for that tool.
This is not an easy. It's not an easy task.
Yeah,
It's still a good, it's still a nice shot though, Louis.
It's a great shot.
Very much
That's
a
the
travel
only
shot.
one day we got a sunset time. Every day was raining, so.
God,
It's beautiful.
it's
Now, Lee Wynn.
Yeah.
Now, if you were on your P's and Q's, you would do what most photographers do when they're with their spouse. Blame it on HJ.
Okay.
All right, let's move on. It's getting late. Morning at Coulter Bay Marina. This one is Kathy Thompson, and the score is 23.
Where is that? It looks like the Rockies.
Looks like Alaska.
It's Teton National Park.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
Rockies.
yeah, because it's got that craggy mountain.
I
Yeah.
find it hard to see those boats with the reflection there.
Well, it was coming up and the sun was shining on this boat on the left and reflecting into the water.
Yeah, that boat on the left is so bright in this image that it's visually overpowering everything else.
Your black and white treatment is really, really nice. However, all the stuff that's happening in the foreground is
All the
taken
what?
away
I'm
from.
sorry. All the what?
All of the boat action in the foreground is taken away from what's happening. The strongest part of this image is the background.
Thank you, Lynn. Big help. Yep, that was a big help, Lynn.
If you're going to do that, then I'm going to need to bring forth the guy that got his piloting the boat.
Exactly.
That'll give me a foreground anchor.
Yep, I was going to say that boat on the left needed to be go downward visually, and this, yeah, there you go. That needs to brighten up and make that be the foreground element of interest. That's the action right there that you want to home in on.
Brighten it up a little bit. So we went from here.
Did you have auto mask activated when you used that brush?
No.
I think I don't know. Go back to the mask.
No.
And
Yeah,
go back
auto
to your
mask is
brush.
activated.
Auto
That's
mask.
that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to uncheck that for what you want to do here.
Make sure you get the shadow area as well.
There you go.
Yeah, bring that up a little more now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
there we go.
I
It's getting
struggled
there.
with that one just
It's
because
getting there.
it was light. You know, the sun was shining on various parts of it that
yeah,
wasn't quite sure what to highlight and what to dim.
Yeah, the boat that's in motion with the person driving it, that's where you want your viewing audience to start. That's what you want them to lock in on first, and then
Okay.
and then expand their vision to the rest of the scene.
Now, since we were talking about timing before, should would it have been better for that boat that's moving to be a little farther to the right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Would be in the darker area there, right, reflection.
All right, Kathy, I'm going to give you a little tip about how to think about imagery.
Okay.
The first thing you want to do is make sure you do not blow out your highlights.
Okay.
Do not blow them out. And I don't want you to think about, well, the sun was bright in this area and there wasn't enough light over here and over there. You can always reassess the exposure in the scene as long as you have detail.
Yeah, I don't think I overexposed it, but I played with it so much with post-processing that's how it got brightened.
You mentioned something, you said that the light was there. And I'm saying to you is that as long as you have detail, we brought that boat down on the left-hand side rather easily because there's detail already in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I misunderstood. I'm sorry.
Yes.
There, so we could fix it.
Yeah, we could do things as long as they're detailed. We can make this whole scene look like it's night as long as they're detailed. But when you lose the detail, then it makes it harder.
Okay.
All right, next one is playing in the sand dunes. This one also Kathy's, and the score's 25.
Wow. See, look what she did with all the footprints, Lynn. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Instead of fighting them, just use them.
Yeah, you got to use them. You got to use them. If they're there, you got to use them. I used them on some of the other pictures that I took at Death Valley too. So
yeah, that's telling me the story.
Yep.
In this image. I look across this foreground and then I see those people on that, lowest dune. And then I see all those footprints and I'm like, okay, those footprints take me up, up, up. And oh, look, there's people up there too, way up on the top. Look up on the left. Yep, there you go. And then I find the other people way up there. And there's some people in between.
There and there's there.
Though that ties all that together and tells and that's the story.
There's something missing here. Now in the foreground, I would have told Generative Phil to put in a sand sled.
They're up on the hill.
Do you ever wonder what time they started to get up there? Because I mean, I'd get out there sometimes at 7 in the morning and there were people on top already. It's like, what the hell? Did you get up at like 4 in the morning?
Well, this was Death Valley, we got up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Well, this is at Great Sand Dunes in Colorado.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
And it is a playground. I mean, these people can get there. They walk across. I think getting a shot without tracks would be very difficult.
I don't think it'd be possible there.
I like how all these striations, you don't see that in other, like in the Mesquite Dunes. This is much more, there's a lot more variation in the color. This is kind of cool.
It was sunset and the sun was going down and it had rained about 5 o'clock. So the sand was actually a little bit harder than it would have been otherwise. So it's kind of neat. The clouds in the sky and the sun hitting the dune.
And again, the muted palette, both in the in the dunes and in the sky, ties together well.
Thank you.
Next one is taking it all in. This one is Jim Hagen's. The score is 25.
Beautiful.
This is pretty. I mean, lovely. Yeah, you definitely take it. There's a lot to take in there.
Where is that, Jim? He was here.
Jim Hagen left.
No,
I don't normally. Jim, I don't normally give you such great praise, but when I do give it to you, you got to be here to accept it.
I was listening to Jim.
Jim wasn't talking.
No, that's all right.
You were caught.
So where is that?
It is in Lake McDonald up in Glacier National.
Yeah.
And it was a very, very hazy, rainy day. In fact, it started raining, so it was like I actually took some chairs from my house to put out there, like the you see at the beach. And I see these two guys out there. I said, I don't need those chairs.
Yep.
I can't believe they're kayaking in that cold water on that kind of kayak.
They're good kayakers.
Tank
They're not gonna
tops.
fall in.
Oh, I didn't take the photo of the gals that are actually in the water. They were swimming. I said, no, no, no.
I mean,
They're not
normally
they're not-
Montana, you see those enclosed kayaks. You don't usually see those.
Oh, they were renting those things, but yeah, I wasn't getting that water. No.
Nicely done, Jim. Very
Beautiful
nicely
All
done.
right.
though.
Yep.
Thank you much.
Next one is fly fishing in Yellowstone.
Jim Hagan, this is yours.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is Jim's. The score is 23.3.
Jim,
When I
this
first
is
looked at it, I thought that was Jack Maniscalco.
I
He's getting
What do you?
everywhere.
I think it is.
That is Jack.
This image falls short for me, Jim.
Say what?
This image falls short for me.
It's
Yeah,
too
yeah,
short.
It falls short.
Because
I'm not
There's
sure I understand.
It falls short, meaning that it's not there.
Why?
Look at the
I
action
guess-
of the. You said fly fishing,
I
right?
can't.
You gave me fly fishing.
Yeah.
All right. There's nothing about this shot that indicates fly fishing.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely
it's-
nothing.
I got what you're saying, but that's what he was doing. It's almost impossible to see the line. But yeah, that was Jack standing there fly fishing. That's what I thought.
Yeah, normally when we go after fly fishermen, Jim, we wait until they put the arm up.
Yes.
And so you've got the line like
Yes.
flying through the air with the water coming off of it. And that definitely would make it fly fishing.
I completely agree. I went around and got a better photo of the guy when I could actually see all that, but it was just not a good a photo because it was like, all you saw was a little bit of the water and some trees across the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those shots like Lynn is talking about work best in backlighting sunlight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure. Well, I just saw the guy standing there and I said, this is an opportunity.
Yep.
All
That's
right,
cool.
next one is Crete, Greece by the water. And this one is Garrett's, and the score is 24.3. This is pretty. This is beautiful.
The vibrant colors in this, make it look like a postcard that you would buy when you were, at a travel destination.
Robert?
I want to know if Garrett's here.
Yeah, he was. He was there.
Yeah, he was here earlier.
Okay, Garrett.
I'm here.
All right, look, I need you to shoot more.
Okay.
Don't just show up every now and then just to get a high score.
Let me do one favor for me, Lynn.
Yeah.
Because this is the one thing that visually puts the image a little off balance is you've got the blue sky at the top, the blue water in the bottom, and all these buildings are, rich golden color, for the most part. But then over on the left, there's a building that's blue, and it's almost like it's connecting the water to the sky and everything. Just crop past the building that's blue so that we just leave, keep going actually past that next one, the next building as well.
Like,
So that
it
we
looks
just
like it's in a
so that we
shadow.
just leave all the warm colors of everything to contrast with all the blue of the sky and the water. There you go. See the difference?
Yeah.
All right, Garrett, you gonna promise me you're gonna bring more images?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound so enthusiastic about it. Love you too, Garrett.
Yeah, this is pretty. Very, very much Greece looking.
Thanks.
Next
Thank
one
you.
is Ellis Island. And this one is Richards, and the score is 23.6.
This works much better with that boat in the foreground. If it were just this picture without that boat, it would definitely not have scored as high. That boat is and the boat's in the proper position, going the proper direction. That's that's very nice. We were talking about timing. This one, the timing was correct.
Yay, Richard.
Richard.
Yes.
Let's see what they can do without the other flagpole.
That's what I was going to ask. That was my next question. Would you have left the flagpole in or taken it out?
I certainly would have done well without that flagpole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was taken from the ferry that goes out there. And I shot a few and waited for the sailboat to come by.
I have two competing lines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the other line,
I don't. Yeah, personally, I don't have a problem with the flagpole because it's balanced with the mast of the sailboat, and they almost frame it like brackets.
Everybody has their opinion.
Yes, they do.
That's my opinion.
I have a confession too. I added the sky, and I didn't. Jim reminded us last night that if you do something like that, you should put AR.
Well, yeah. You did a good enough job with your sky that it didn't jump out at us as being fake, because you picked a proper sky for the scene. A lot of times people pick a sky that's lit from the wrong direction, has the sun in the wrong place, that that they pick skies that they think the sky looks cool, but it doesn't match the rest of the scene. You got a sky that's a good match for the scene.
Yep. Next one is DC monuments and cherry blossoms. This one is Jim McWilliam, and the score is 23.9.
Jim moved the monument over about like it's in our case it'd be like 400 yards to the right.
Center it.
Yeah, and
it's a little heavy to move it.
and that way to get that tree from in front of it, and the trees would then frame it for me.
So he wanted him to shoot it from over here.
Yeah, so it just frames in there.
There next year. I plan to hope to catch
I'll
it
be up
next
there in
year.
a couple of weeks, so.
Yeah, give me some separation on those.
Of course, the chart, none of that red will be there, but.
It's okay, you can composite it into this one.
Well, we'll move it by the time I get there, Jim. I'll be there next April.
Now the colors of those of all those blossoms in there in this image, which is natural, almost gives it the look. If you've ever seen Kodak Aero film stock, AERO, Kodak Aero film stock, it's a color infrared film stock, and that's what it makes things look like. And this image is very reminiscent of a photo shot on Kodak Aero stock.
Is that the Washington Monument? It doesn't look like it's in the right place, but it looks a lot like it.
It is.
It's the Washington Monument.
It is? Okay.
Brian,
Yeah,
I already said that.
It's shot from across the reflecting pond in front of the Jefferson Memorial.
Yeah.
Like near the MLK. So you're looking across Constitution Avenue, looking northeast.
Isn't it tilted a little bit?
Angle.
Isn't it tilted a little bit?
Isn't that what, Brian?
It looks a little tilted to the right to me.
Who gave all that information about the monument?
That was Diana.
That was Diana.
Oh,
Not
okay.
me.
Yeah.
Diana Cahill.
Diana Cahill.
Okay.
Okay, great. You wow, Diana.
Condé Nast magazine used to have a contest called the Where Are You contest. It was a photo from somewhere in the world with clues, and then you had to figure out where it was and exactly where you were standing. I'm
were
really
good
good
at
at
it.
that contest.
Hey, Google Earth will sure help you now.
Yeah.
I'll tell
All
you,
right, guys.
I took it and I was wondering where I was.
I can
Now
show
to
you on the map.
Wally's. All right, last assign is Myrtle Beach Boardwalk. And this is also Jim's, and the score is 24.3.
Pretty.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, you can take that little white chair out of there.
Yeah,
next to it.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Agree, Karen?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a lifeguard stand.
Yep.
It's gone.
Well, it doesn't have to still be standing. It's gone.
Done.
Now those people are the lone people headed to wherever they are on Coney Island.
Mm-hmm.
Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
They have a long walk to get to Coney Island.
Right.
Must have gone the wrong way.
They're really hungry for a Nathan's hot dog.
Right. There you go, Jim. That's great travel.
Mhm.
Great travel.
Yeah, the contrail clouds in the sky mirroring the wave pattern works very well in this image.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lines in this were really kind of what made me include it.
What were you standing on up here?
I'm standing on a pier, yes. Yeah.
Really nice, Jim.
He had
That's
drones strapped on his flip flops.
Okie dokie. All right, guys, we're on to general. We have 7 more to go when we need to move along. Okay, the first one is Lighthouse on the Hill. This one is, this one is Doug Halstead's, and the score is 23.3.
If Doug is here, I just wish you'd give me more.
More what?
More, I don't know.
Move around to the right.
And I'm not being flippant about this. I'm just saying it's more of a record shot than what I've seen from Doug before. And
in the vein of a travel photo, a little bit,
This is general.
a little bit more context, as we were saying before, where is it? A little more context of where it is, as
But this is entered in general.
Yeah. Well, true.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing about it. I want more from this shot.
Do you want
That's
more?
a nice shot.
Do you want more as far as real estate more?
Yeah, give me more real estate. Give me something more to lead me to this. And because once I get there, there is a lighthouse and there's some these purple things. I don't know what you call them. And those two are they're not giving me any context as to where it is.
See, I don't think that needs more at all.
I will say that I appreciate the fact of I don't know whether we had a choice of where to stand to take this shot, but as far as the direction of light with the with the side lighting, as opposed to being on the shadow side or being on the broad lit side of it, having the side lighting on it to give it all the dimensionality and the texture was the proper thing to do for this. So points for that.
The flowers are fireweed. They're common in Alaska. I don't know if this is Alaska.
Diana, is your middle name Alexa?
It's Maine. It's up in the northern part of Maine by Lubec, Maine.
I've
I've
never been so informed in a meeting before.
Flowers. I like how there's like the tall columnar lighthouse and like the tall columnar flowers. Like
that. All right, next one is Soft Landing. Whoops. This one is Sherry's. The score is 24. This is great. You just got a little too close to his wing over here. That's the only thing I could see.
But other than that, that's the boy that nice stick arced from corner to corner in the frame. and the and that 1 foot gripping and the one talon outstretched like that and everything really really makes this a cut above so many of the bird pictures that we see here.
Yeah, just there's so much gesture going on.
Go enlarge it to the mouth and the eyes. This sets the tone. That sets the tone.
Yep,
That's
it's
perfect.
dead on.
Yes.
So everything else from that expression in the photograph works.
It almost looks like he's scared he's losing his balance.
Correct. And there's so much gesture going on here.
Yeah, he just needs a little more wing room, and that's
see, but that's where the expand the canvas that we learned yesterday would fit in.
Oh, Sherry, what was your thought behind this one?
Oh, my thoughts?
I
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, pretty much. I cropped it that way. I tend to crop close, but I just like the expression, and I like the way his foot was coming up like that.
Oh yeah,
right.
Which is why, and I also like the lighting on the wings.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like the rim lighting that is sort of around the wings. That's pretty.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
And the
that
way
feather detail in that lighting is fantastic.
Yeah,
really
and the way
pretty.
the light comes through the feathers.
Yeah.
Well, I exaggerated a little bit. I put a little extra light in it to make it look that way. I mean, it had it, but then I exaggerated a little bit, but I think it works. So.
You did a good job doing that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful image.
Works.
We're glad you're back submitting stuff again, by the way.
Yeah, it's not a new picture because I haven't really been out, but it's
That's
it's
okay.
an older picture that I bypassed.
We have no time limits. This next one is Deadwood Arch. This one is Doug's, and the score is 22.9.
Once again, I'm gonna jump in here. The deadwood running right into that green tree, and that's where the problem is that they are intertwined and no separation between them. And so if you follow the wood all the way into the sky, it goes right into the green tree.
Right there, Lynn. That's what he's talking about right there.
Yeah.
So I think that again, I wasn't there. I have no idea what Doug had to go through to get this, but a little bit of movement around to the right on this might have given you a little extra separation.
It's interesting that you point that out, Robert, because with all the time I've spent in the Southwest and in dead trees and dead wood and things like this and that that I find interesting to photograph, I can't tell you how many I've walked around and and stretched and crouched and knelt down and walked 360s around because I think there's something there and I want it, but those branches that stick out in all directions and cause these intersections are visually such a problem that I've encountered exactly what you're talking about countless times where I've spent 5 minutes walking around trying to find the composition and it's just not there because of the way those long branches intersect with things, and I spend 5 minutes walking all around, crouching, kneeling, and then don't even push the shutter button and walk away.
Right, absolutely. And then that's why I find it interesting foreground leading up to the background, but that branch just leads me into the tree, and that stops me right there.
So I have a question.
3 answers for you if you want them.
So if you are on an excursion and you're like in a place like this and you've traveled to get there and you're walking around and you're looking for a shot and you don't find the shot that you want, do you feel like you wasted your time?
Heck the frick no.
Not if you still enjoyed being in the location.
Okay, because I feel like sometimes we chase this like idea of a perfect shot and then we get frustrated and we leave, and that seems like it's antithetical to the point of engaging in a photography.
I'm always looking. I'm more interested. I take a lot of photographs, but in my mind is the main. What my mind sees and my eyes put into my mind are more important than even what the photographs I got. I've learned years ago not to worry that if I don't get the shot, it's not the end of the world because I got to experience it. you know?
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
you know, the
photography.
problem
That's how I.
is my eyes would have seen the separation between here, but I know the camera's not going to see it. So I saw the picture that I wanted. I just couldn't figure out, there was no way to actually get the camera to do it. So
But you know,
Well,
the thing is, you take the shot anyway. I find
sure,
I take the shot.
absolutely, absolutely. But photography is a lot more like baseball than anything. You get up and you strike, and you're not going to hit a home run every now and every time. You may get some that are really, really close, but it's really, really sweet when you do knock one out of the park. But don't expect to do it every time. But every time you go up to bat, or every time you put the camera to your eye, you learn and you gain.
Well, and whoever asked that question, when I go out to shoot animals and stuff, you don't always find them. And but as long as I'm out and about in the mountains or whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And there's
not a waste to
nothing,
me.
and there's nothing wrong with taking the shots. Even shots like this, which other than okay, technical nitpicking. As far as the fact that okay, this is an exhibition entry. That's why it's here, so that it can be discussed about the pros and cons. But this is the kind of image that there's absolutely nothing wrong with. If your intention is you're on vacation and you want to remember your vacation, then absolutely, this is a great shot to remember your vacation with, remember your trip. Shots like these to go back through your Lightroom folders and and look at your stuff and remember when you were there are great. If if you have a self assignment and you're saying I'm trying to make a photo for camera club competition or this or that or for an assignment, that's a different story. You're going to work it and if you get it, you get it, and if you don't get it, you don't display it. But as far as remembering a trip, don't hesitate to push the button.
And I will tell you, I have 8,000 of these images.
8,000. Yeah, we all do.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I have 8,000 of them, and it doesn't mean that I didn't make the picture, because I did. But is it good enough to be that picture?
So my follow-up question is, like, I have thousands and thousands of photos that are not good, that I consider not good enough to be exhibition photos, but I had a good time and I was out there and they're memories of my trips. What do you all do with those photos?
They're sitting on our hard drives, just like they're yours.
You wait 10 years, and then you look back, and then you see how much you've improved.
Oh yeah. I can't tell you how many times, I'm a night owl and I'm working at night and I'm doing something and I'm jumping into Lightroom and I go looking for something that I need, that I want to post or that I need to send to somebody, and all of a sudden, as I'm in Lightroom, I'll hit, like Robert says, a folder from 10 years ago, from 13 years ago or whatever. And, and then I'm down the rabbit hole and I'm like, two things are going on. I'm remembering the time I was there and what I was doing and bringing back all those memories. And I'm looking at the photos and, and saying, wow, look at how I was shooting back then. Look at what my style was, look at how I've evolved from there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you can have a travel book. I mean, there are so many trips that I've taken where I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I'm loath to do that, to get rid of them, because you can still make a book. Only, every shot doesn't have to be like pitch perfect, camera club critique. I think that a lot of it is just the memory it evokes,
Yeah.
So do you actually do that? Do you go back?
Diana, I did. You know what?
Nice.
That I took that Bhutan shot probably my 60th birthday, so 11 years ago. And I didn't know what to do with it. And I hung on to it because it didn't, trust me, I had to do editing on that shot. It didn't look like that when I shot it because I didn't know what I was doing. I was shooting with a fixed lens, so I do hang on. I asked Robert how many external hard drives I have.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I have probably 5 or 6 10 gig external hard drives with my travel photos, because you delete it and you can't bring it back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. They put it
Yeah.
on a DVD.
Yeah, yeah. And you mentioned the old camera. That's another thing that happens with me when I go back and look at this old stuff. It's not just memories about being there. It's like, then it's, oh, I remember that camera. Oh, I remember that lens. And, and just, for me, I'm an equipment guy too. And it's like, oh yeah, it reminds me of the camera and lens I was shooting with. And
Where is that lens?
I was going to say, Jim,
Oh,
that's you.
in my case, I still have all of them.
Yeah, I know.
There's still somewhere.
None of mine were worth keeping. They were all like,
Hey guys,
Jen and I-
we got 4 more images to get through. It's after 9 o'clock. Let's finish up.
Yes, ma'am. You've been
Okay, the
trying to
next
do
one
that
is,
all night.
is Flamingo Pond. And this one is Mike Williams, and the score is 22.5.
Butt shots.
This is where we could go to Photoshop, and the remove tool would be very quick about it. Generative fill would be a little bit slower, but that reflection in the water on the left can definitely go away.
Over here, yeah.
Oh yeah, that.
It's just too bright compared to
That
everything else.
and that's very easy to make that go away. That's literally like 10 seconds and it's gone, if that long. The prominent flamingo in the scene, the foreground flamingo,
Butt shot.
it's a butt shot. Exactly. That's
I have a lot of
the
them,
flamingo
that's
needs
why I know.
to be facing the other way.
I don't know what is wrong with my pointer here tonight. If he another timing issue here. If he had waited and let that guy just kind of move over a little bit to the, he was feeding, so he'd been moving. And if he just waited a couple minutes, he would have been in the right spot. Darn it. I don't know why it keeps doing that. He just another timing situation here. And it's hard when you got a group of birds like that, but sometimes if you just be a little patient, you'll end up with much better, because you've got we've got no head on this one. This one's good. This one's good. This one's good. This one's good. This one, it looks like he's sleeping, so that's his head is under, but you cut no head, no face on this one, and just a butt shot on that one. So a little bit of timing would have worked better for this one. Next one is the girl on the red dune. This one is Fong's, and the score is 22.6.
I'll say I think that's from an artistic standpoint, one of the most artistic things I've seen come from Fong.
100% composition.
That goes right out of the realm of a photograph, and it looks like a painting at first glance.
Yeah.
And the position of it, the contrast between the lone person out there in fashion garb on the sand, that contrast there is very striking to me.
I would put a frame on this and hang this on a wall. That's a piece of art. I personally scored this one high.
The only thing is the whites are kind of blown out. Yes.
They are a little hot, but that's part of, in this instance, that's part of what transcends it out of the realm of being a photographer. We'd say, oh, as a photograph, yeah, technically that's wrong. The highlights are blown, but the image looks so painterly that that's part of what draws my attention to it and grabs my eye and is so striking about it. In this case, I'm not counting against it for the blown out highlights, because in this case, that's like part of the artistic treatment and actually works in this case.
Karen, what do you have to say about this?
When I looked at it, I was looking at it like from a technical, and when I look in close, it looks like it's a composite. And to me, it's the girl stands out too much. Listening to Jim, I'm seeing a whole different perspective tonight.
I enjoyed the photo too. I would just say, if it was mine, the upper left corner, I would make that darker spot match the lighter part that's going across the corner there.
I won't argue with you, Brian. If this were going to be printed for exhibition, No, I would agree with you for that. Absolutely.
It looks like it needs a shadow.
It's not a composite though, is it, Phone?
Oh, I'm lost. I don't understand. This
Yeah. And I like that crop, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
this in Namibia. There's only one red desert in the world, but it's very windy and big sand. I don't want to mess.
Yeah.
Make my camera damage, so I just go far away and cut it.
Yeah, I don't think that's a composite.
Well, I thought it was.
No, it's not a composite, but part of what made you get that impression is that it has such an artistic look to it. It looks like it looks like a painting style.
I have a whole this far away. I have a whole this desert, but I just take very small. I take on the bottom. Take this picture.
No, I didn't think it was a composite. Karen just mentioned that. I didn't think it was.
Yeah.
I don't understand what is printed. This
print and put it on your wall. Frame it.
Where's the shadow behind the girl?
It's almost at the edge of the frame.
Right here.
Right there, right there.
Yeah, I see that part, but I thought it was awful small for.
I think the sand is blocking part of it.
Yeah, I think the sun is just very low.
Yep, the sun is very low. That's why that's why that looks like that. Yep.
So if you put a whole desert, is better.
Oh no, Vaughn, like you did well.
You did good, yeah.
You did good, Vaughn.
This is good.
Okay, the next one is drinking water at sunset. This one is also Fong's. The score is 22.2.
All right, Fong, you didn't do so as well as you did the last one.
Huh?
You didn't do as well as the last one did. Much better.
Yeah, the part of the issue, this line right here, just running right into this part of the elephant and bisecting it and stuff. That's an awkward placement of that line right there, and among other things.
But you did point your elephants the right direction.
Yes.
Good job.
Let's copy these elephants and paste them into the other image.
Huh? I don't
Diana,
know.
I shot a similar shot to yours. That's why I asked Robert if that looked familiar, because I did two or three different shots like that. But mine were cooperative elephants.
Fun, I had a shot with elephants, but they said that the elephants should have been more sideways to the camera so you could tell they were elephants instead of blobs.
Yeah. So we could take these two and make them smaller, and they would work in Diana's shot.
Yep, cut them out and move them over. You guys can have an artistic collaboration.
Here you go.
Share the copyright.
I have a question. Wait. Lynn, don't go away. So you see how and I'm going to probably get hammered for this, but when I was looking at my elephant shot, and all those blobby areas on the elephant, I was so tempted to darken them, which would have been so wrong for the elephant. But I mean, do you get dinged for blobby elephants?
I mean, blobby.
You know how it's like white and dark and
they've thrown mud on themselves and it's dried.
But that's the way their skin is.
Well, I know that, but
yeah, I mean that's what they look like. Then you
I
leave them
know,
like that.
but I didn't know whether I was.
It's like taking a blue jay and making him red.
Well, yeah, okay, never mind.
Oh, I lost. This picture good or not good?
Not good.
Not good. Not like the other one. Yeah, they're too dark and the colors are kind of weird, and yeah. I don't know if we could make it better by getting rid of that one. Maybe. Yeah, that's better.
Yes, definitely.
This could have been an assign, couldn't it?
It could have been, yeah. I mean, I'm just opening up the shadow. See, he's been out there bouncing around in the, they use the clay and the dirt.
I know they roll in dirt. Yeah, they roll in.
So they look all kind of weird because of that. But I think problem is you're shooting right into the sun, and it's just making it really difficult to fix it. So,
This show's better.
yeah, the other one was definitely better. Last but not least, Farm Family Patriarch. This is Richard's image, and its score is 23.5.
I love these. I love his expression.
Yeah.
The only thing I would do is I would take out the blue on the right.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
thing back there. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And crop
Can you
it
crop
into-
that out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or content aware or something, because I do want to see that those vegetables right there, at least the first one that is intact in the frame next to the gentleman. That right there, you want to at least, like I say, you can crop into that, but then you still need to get rid of what's remaining with that. It's that cuts down on how, but the fact that it's blue, the same colors as the subject, itself, and the shape of it, you go right to that from the subject.
Yeah, I love his face.
Yeah.
His eyes, yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
job.
and this one, this is one, Lynn, you could just crop it, you could crop it in on
the left
you could
side.
crop it in even tighter, just go way in
face.
tight on this one.
One or two steps to the right would have taken that leg or whatever that was out.
No, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that crop.
Because you can still see the farm vegetable thingies.
Yes,
behind.
there is some vegetables in the green basket and some things. There's enough context, there related to the farm. So,
What state was that taken?
That's in Georgia.
That's where Richard
Okay.
lives.
We're all
That's in
jealous,
Georgia.
Richard.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite kind of photography. I enjoy photographing interesting faces. Not so much into the birds and the bushes and the bugs, but I love photographing interesting faces.
So
this is definitely one for sure. This, and now that we cropped in on this and gotten rid of that other thing, I like this so much better. This
Richard,
now
did
I
you
like
have
this a lot now.
conversation with this guy?
Do I have a what?
Did you have a conversation with him?
Yes.
Yep.
I did. And his sons who came by and wanted to know why I was photographing him. And then I showed them. The nice thing about a screen on the back of your camera is that you can show your people and the people who love him what you're doing. They weren't sure because what I was doing. So, yeah.
So we get in a situation like that, we usually try to get their email address and send them a copy of the image. So
See, I go back to the farm stand a lot, and
back?
I bring them that. Yeah, I go back there every
Oh,
other
great.
week or so. It's a great
That's
place to take photographs.
Yeah,
I'll bet
I'm
you
happy
if-
to hear that.
I bet you if you gave him a picture of it, you'd get some free tomatoes.
I've done that. I've done that with other people that I photographed at that farm.
I
at the
bet.
farm.
That's a
I
cool
have.
place.
Yeah.
I think we should do a camera club trip to wherever he lives.
You're welcome.
he lives in Blairsville. We've been there
Where?
before.
Oh, that's a great place.
That's
Yes,
a great place.
we want to go there.
Jim,
come on
put
up.
it together when I'm all, fixed up.
Telling you,
never
you wanna
fixed
do-
up.
if-
I
Come here for
am.
the
I'm
waterfalls.
fixed up. I am. I've got no more replacement parts.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, guys. That's it for tonight.
Thank you,
Good
Lynn.
seeing you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Right.
you.
Good night.